Hey guys, it's Bethany with the Wandering Purl podcast, and welcome to episode 21. I want to thank you guys for joining us today as we are coming to you from just outside Tacoma, Washington, where it has been a beautiful day. We've actually had about a week and a half of really pretty weather. It's been hot. I'm told it's unseasonably warm for this time of year, so of course we have brought that upon them. I'm sorry. But yeah, we've been enjoying it a lot, and you'll notice there's some changes. There's some different things happening, but I'll talk about that in the life section. Today I do have a couple finished objects to share with you and a few works in progress. So I'm excited to show you a brand new cast on that I have. But first up, I wanted to announce our giveaway winner. So thank you everyone for commenting on episode 20. You were commenting where your plans were to go or to do that you're really excited about for summer, or any summer makes that you have. And I have picked a winner by random generator, and that winner is JaneC. So congratulations, Jane. If you will email me at thewanderingpurl@gmail.com, I will get this out to you as soon as possible. And what you are getting is this beautiful skein of yarn that is by Knitmona, and a little goodie bag from me with a bunch of little fun things in there. So if you'll email me with your mailing address, I'll get it right out to you. And she said, I'm going to paraphrase because hers was a little bit long. One, she likes the bloopers, so I hope you are all enjoying the bloopers because there are always some bloopers when it comes to me. And she said that she is knitting a beautiful shawl for her daughter's birthday, which was a couple days ago. So you'll have to let us know, Jane, in the comments if you finished that. We'd love to see it for sure. And she is going to be she's doing a staycation this summer. So sometimes that's the best you can do, is stay home and just enjoy your surroundings. So that is all the things I have for the introduction. Let's go ahead and jump right into the finished objects. You may have spotted in my intro that I am wearing a finished object. I have finished my Radvent. I absolutely love it, but let me tell you about the details before I go gushing over it. So this is the Radvent cardigan by Amba O'Brien. I have made one of these previously last July and absolutely loved it. So I made another one, and that is what this is. The yarn, the blue, so the main color, this blue right here, is a beautiful blue. It's called Mountain, hold on, where did I put it? Mountain Path, and it's by Life in the Long Grass, and she dyes out of Ireland. I absolutely love this. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then all of these fun colors are from Moonglow. So these are her Advent. I got this last December, and it is her Rainbow Advent by Whitney of Moonglow. This was such a joy to make. Oh, one more thing before we move on. I ended up using a US 6 for the main body, which is a 4mm, and then a US 4 for the all the ribbing and all of that. So that is a 3.5mm. I believe that's what the pattern calls for. Yeah. So, like I said, this is the second one I made. So when I decided to make another one, I decided to go up a few sizes. I wanted it to be a little bigger and a little baggier and just roomier, and I knew I was going to have the yarn to do it, so I did, and I love how it came out. I think the arms are like super big. If I were to make it again, which I don't know, I could in the future make it again, but probably not. I would maybe cut out one color on the sleeve and add that to the body instead. Just because the arms are a little bit long, and I feel like I could have a little bit more in the body, and it would be perfect. So it's like 90% perfect. I love it. I'll put in some video of me wearing it, and I just absolutely love it so much. The colors are beautiful. Whitney did a great job, and yeah, I really like it. So I'm going to tell you some facts about it and everything, like how much grams and things that I used. So I have a very detailed list of all the grams that I used for each color on my Ravelry page, which will be linked down below. So if you are thinking of making it, maybe you're using scraps and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I have it for my size there. The size that I made is, I didn't write it down here. It would have been on the little thingamajigger there. But I have all of that listed there, as detailed as I possibly could be. So the total that I used of main color, which is the blue, and let me note, I made the bottom ribbing quite a bit longer than the pattern calls for, so I probably used a little bit more than was intended. And I also did not do the button holes, and I'm not going to put buttons on it. So if you do that, it will differ a little bit. But for me, I used 72.26 grams of the main color. And then for the rainbow in total, so all of them that I used together was 259.22 grams. And like I said, I have all of the individual, how much I use for each color on the Ravelry page, but I'm not going to go through that right now. So yeah, I was surprised at how much yarn it used. I don't think with my last one that I actually added it up to see how many grams and how many yards I used, but just in the Moonglow Advent colors alone, I used 1,036 yards, and then 288 yards in the blue. So that's a lot. That's crazy. I didn't think I'd be using that much, but yeah, I guess it's about a 3 skein project, if you think about it that way. Both of the cuffs together were 13.78 grams. The hem was 42.43 grams. And again, I did make it a little longer than the pattern calls for. And the button band was only 5 and 5.39 grams, which I was quite surprised about. I did do a couple of things different in this one. It calls for a 1x1 twisted, and I just did 1x1, and I also shortened the cuff quite a bit because I knew from my first one I didn't need it as long as the pattern called for. All that information of how many rounds and how I cast on and everything is on Ravelry. And then the other thing is I did 18 rounds each color on every color, even though the pattern said to do, I think, 16 at a certain point on the body ones, and I just kept doing 18 because I had enough yarn to do it. So that was that. I love it. I wore it. I finished it a couple days ago. I blocked it, and then I wore it that night. And it's so cozy and comfy, and I like the fit of it better. It's a little longer. Yeah, and I also added a few extra stitches under the arms to make it a little longer, but I really like it. I think it's so cool. And it's just beautiful. All the colors. So fun. So that, I'm so happy. It took me exactly a month, so I started it April 14th, finished May 14th. Yeah, I'm so happy to have it off the needles. It was a great knit. It was great for mindless knitting and just, knitting and doing a few increases here and there. The hardest part was picking up the stitches at the bottom. And I will say it doesn't look as pretty as my original one. Let me show you. So this is how it looks on this side. So I also did something weird. I actually like the inside better. I wish that was on the outside. You'll live and learn. So I actually did something different with this too that probably is why it looks not so good, is I slipped the first stitch on each row, thinking that it would just work better for picking up stitches, but I don't think it did. It kind of made it a little wonky. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just knit that first stitch. Because my original Radvent definitely looks better in the pickup. But I do like the inside where it's got that nice knit stitch. If only it were on the outside, but that's okay. But yeah, this one is off the needles and all done, and I'm enjoying wearing it so far. Of course, it's been pretty hot in the 70s and 80s, which is hot for Washington State since I finished it, so I haven't been wearing it that much, but it'll be all ready for me come fall. I also finished 2 other small projects, so right after I cast this off, I cast these on, and these are the Yarn Cozy Lights. I think that's, wait, is that the right name? Let me double check. Yes, Yarn Cozy Lights, the knit version by 11 Stitches, who is also Nitty Natty or Natalie. And I made these because she is hosting a Cozy Along 2023. If you use the hashtag, you can find out all about it on Instagram. And I've also linked her Instagram, Natalie's, down below in case you want to join in. It is going until May 31st, so you'll definitely have time to make some of these if you haven't already. So the first one I cast on was a 50 gram, and that's this one. I love them. If you don't know what a yarn cozy is, I don't actually have yarn right here to show you, but it just hugs your yarn. It keeps it all nice when you have it in a cake, and it's perfect. I've made so many of these. I don't have as many 50 and 20 gram as I do 100, so I decided I would just make a couple of smaller ones this time. And this, you might be looking at it and be like, that looks funny. It's because I reversed the pattern. So if you have the pattern, this is the basic, what is it called? The plain and simple pattern. And I reversed that. So instead of doing the knit 3, purl 1, I purled 3 and knit 1. I like how it gives it kind of a different look, and it's really fun. So this one is the 50 gram size, and it took me, let me see, 9.96 grams to knit this. I believe this is a Sorella mini, but I'm not 100% sure because it was just kind of in my scraps. So that was the first one that I made. And then the second one I made is so cute and tiny. This is a 20 gram, and I did the basic again, but correctly this time. It went by so quickly, and then you got the little I-cord edging at the top. This one only took me 4.85 grams. That is like nothing. You use up so many scraps doing this. This yarn is Woolly Mama in Mutant Mermaid, and I used it for my Twisted T-shorts, which I'm actually wearing right now, last summer, or fall or summer. Yeah, so these were awesome, and I get to enter them in for prizes with Natalie. So yeah, if you are interested in that, her pattern will be linked through my project page. They're really simple. They're really great. She has crochet versions as well. So if you're a crocheter and you want to check them out, definitely do that because they're great to use up those little scraps of the yarn that you just love, and you get to use them all the time on your yarn. So those are my finished objects. I was hoping for one more, but we'll chat about that in a second. I have 2 works in progress to share with you. One, you'll know what it's going to be in just a second, and then the other is a brand new cast on that I'm really excited to share with you. So let's start with this lingering whip. It would have been done, but I ran out of yarn. So bummed. So this is being housed in my Cottontail Farms bag. It's always been housed in. I have my little neon soul pouch with all of the little notions that I need. I'm using Chiaogu needles for this, and it is the All of the Lights cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I cast this on back in March, so it's been on the needles for a while. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm absolutely loving it, but I ran out of the yarn. And the yarn is Miss Babs in Apple Season in her Yowza base. Yeah, I'm going to just put in a little video show you what I have. I literally only have half of each sleeve to do. That's all. That's all I have left to do. I would have finished this before the Radvent if I hadn't run out of yarn. So I was super bummed. Once I got through the ribbing, at the bottom hem ribbing, I was like, I'm gonna run out of yarn. I'm really gonna run out of yarn. And I did. So I do have a solution. I searched Ravelry and went and found someone, a couple people actually on Ravelry, who had a Yowza mini, which I think is 70 grams, and it is the same base, the same everything. It's just different. They all had pictures of what their skeins looked like, so I picked the ones that looked kind of like mine, messaged them, and asked, hey, would you mind selling me this skein? I need it for a project that I'm running out of. Sent them a link to my project. And one lady messaged me back and was like, yeah, sure, I would definitely sell it to you. Oh, I was so blessed and so thankful for that because I was about to order one of the huge 220 gram skeins from Miss Babs. Um, but she messaged me like just hours before I was planning to do that. Something just told me, and I know it was God, was just like, hey, just wait till the end of the night and then you can order it. And she messaged me, so that was fabulous. It is in the mail on its way to me. It's supposed to get here in the next couple of days, so this will 100% be a finished object next time as long as that yarn gets here. But you will have seen it's stunning. I can't believe I've done this. Like, it's the hard part's done. All the ends are woven in. All the cables are done except for this one quite simple cable that goes down the sleeves. Please don't let me regret saying that and mess up horribly in the future, God. But it's been great. So I really, really love how it looks. I have like a little bit of string. I want it to end on the same row on both sides. So I have a little bit of yarn left from both sides hanging out. Here, let me show you. I was like, there's just, yeah, that's all I have. But I'm on the same row, so when I go back to start again, I know where to go for both ones and do, like, yes, I took notes. But look how pretty it is, guys. It's so pretty. I think maybe a darker color would have been best to show the exquisite patterning on it, but I like it. I love it. I can't wait to block it and to see how it grows, and yeah, I'm just really excited. So as soon as that yarn comes, I'm going to be finishing this ASAP, and I pray that it matches pretty well to the yarn because I'm just going to have a weird sleeves if not. So I do have a little story with Miss Babs. I think I told you, no, I didn't tell you last time. Oh, before I go on my tangent, let me show you. Look at the pockets. Aren't they so pretty? I really, really like how the pockets came out. Okay. I think I messed up on one pocket, but you can't really tell. So let me go on my little Miss Babs tangent. So you've heard before that I have gotten yarn from them and it doesn't really look like what it looks on the website. So that actually happened with this yarn. It's a lot more white in it than the pink like it showed on the website. And you know, I get that dye lots are different, but it's pretty different. And that I've had that happen 2 times with them. And it's kind of frustrating. I mean, I know it's hand dyed, but you can also, I don't know, you could make it a separate listing for a lighter version or a darker version. Anyways, so when the day before I ran out, I was like, I'm going to call, or I'm going to email Miss Babs and see if they can tell me, show me what they have for this color. Because they have 3 on their website. They had 3 of the big yowzers in stock. And I was hoping I'd be able to get one that matched these, but I wanted to see it first, which I don't think is unreasonable to ask to see a picture of it if you're trying to match it. So I emailed them asking that. I think it was the Monday after Maryland Sheep and Wool. So I knew they were really busy from doing that. I know they had a crazy weekend, but I haven't heard back from them, and it's been a week and a half. No emails back, no anything, and kind of put me off a little bit. Like, if they didn't want to do that, then yeah, for sure, you could, you know, just email back and say we can't do that. But I mean, I messaged them before when the first order I ever got was completely different color than what it was, and they said you can like contact us and we can tell you what the current dye lot looks like. So yeah, never heard back from them, and I think that's a real bummer. I don't think I'll be ordering from them again unless I see it in person. Like if I'm at a store or a pop-up or something that is having Miss Babs and I can actually physically see the color that I'm buying. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be buying from them, which is really sad because they have affordable, well-made yarn that I really like. But I just can't trust. I can't trust that I'm gonna get what I want. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't know if that's just me or if other people have had that happen. I don't know. But I did want to show you one more thing while I was sitting here. You see this ribbing? This is 3.5 inches of twisted rib. And I was a maniac. And I did that one night. And then I also did a tubular bind off that same night. Yeah, my hands hurt the next day. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it's really pretty. It's so pretty. I can't wait for it to be done. Next time, I will be wearing it. I'm so excited for it to be done. But I'm even more proud of myself for actually making it. Because it's, I don't know, I need to look it up and see. Is it an intermediate pattern? Is it like a hard pattern? Like, what is this? I'll need to look it up. Maybe I'll put it on the screen if I look it up and find out. But that is my first work in progress. Oh, let me show you something. It would be helpful. Since the last time I saw you, I was right here. So I had just done the sleeve, and I did all of this work, plus the work on the sleeves, from here, all the way on both sides, and all the pockets, like the detail in the pocket and actually fitting the pocket part since last time. And it's probably been a week since I have been able to work on it. I did that really fast. This totally would have been done. This would have been done next week or next podcast. It'll be done. I'm really excited to share my next work in progress with you. I started it a few nights ago and I'm loving it so much. It was kind of like a little reward for finishing my Radvent and almost finishing the All of the Lights. But I cast on, let me get my information. I cast on the Bluegrass Shawl, which is by Wool and Pine. It is absolutely beautiful. I am loving making it so far. I'm using all different scraps. I went through and sorted scraps for this from like all the purples, all the pinks, all the blues, greens, orange, and yellows. And I'm just going through and picking some and kind of trying to keep it random, although I have a hard time with random. But yeah, it's really fun. I decided to go down a needle size because I felt like it might be a little too loose with the US 7s that they were calling for. So I went to a US 6 and I cast on with a US 5, and I'm liking how it looks so far. So let me show you what I have. Let me see, which side is the right side? This is. So this is what I have so far. You can see it is brioche, so you knit every row 2 times. But I'm really loving how it's working out. I love that I don't have to weave in any ends because they become fringe. And yeah, it's awesome. I'm using my lantern moon needles. These are the US 6s. There went my yarn. Anyways, it's gonna stay down there. I did a, what is this? What's it called? I-cord. I did an I-cord cast on for the first time ever, which was fun. It wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be, although I did have to do it twice. So I started this one night late, and I was really, really tired. We'd had a busy day, and I cast it on with a color, and then I didn't really like it. So the next day I ripped it out, and I was also like getting messed up on the first setup row, so I ripped it all out and started again. And I'm really happy that I did that because the first 2 colors that I used are pretty special because they are colors that my sister Sabra sent me last year in an advent. So this first, this is a really light pink, and then this purple here are both from my sister. And I just thought it was kind of special to start with those 2 that came from her. And it looks a lot better the second time I cast it on. The only thing is I feel like my cast on is maybe a little too tight. Maybe I should have kept the US 6 for the cast on instead of going down, but I'm not ripping it back. It'll be fine. That one side is a little scrunched in at all. So This is a new pattern. I think it came out maybe in April, and it's just so fun. So it's going to be a shawl, so, you know, I'll wrap around, which I was wanting to make another shawl anyways, so this is perfect. And I am keeping some notes on how much I'm using per row. So it's a four row repeat, but you do those rows 2 times, so actually 8. And you're using 2 colors at a time, and it has different, like the cast on was only 2.93 grams, which is this purple, which you use the most out of any other row, except for probably the bind off. So less than 3 grams for that. Again, I am using the smaller needles, so if you use the size 7 needles, it might go up a little bit in your grams that you use. The average for each color per it's like 4 rows. So 1 and 2 are you use 2 colors and you knit 4 rows 4 times with those. Am I making sense? You knit once across with 1 color, once across with the second color, then you knit back the other way with that first color, and then back again on that same row with the second color for the brioche. So you're doing 4 rows, 2 rows with each color, but it's still only 1 and 2. I know I'm making that really confusing. Anyways, if you have the pattern or you know brioche, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just ignore everything that I just said. But the average is about 1.5 grams of yarn that you're using for that color, which if you have the tiniest scraps and you want to use them up, this is amazing to do that for. So I am keeping all the scraps that I have used so far in this. This is a bag my sister gave me that I absolutely love. I'm not, Sophie something. If I can find it, I'll have it linked down below. But I love this bag, and it's great for keeping things like this in it. So these are all the colors that I've used. A lot of the ones are from her. And then I also have a neon soul pouch in there, and my little, this is my little scale that I use. I love it. This one is pretty new. It's by Taylor. And then, I have that. I'll have this link down below. It's on Amazon. It's not very expensive, and it's great to have when you're wanting to do what I'm doing and keep track of your grams used. I also, let me show you, in my big African basket right here, I have a whole bunch of yarn sorted into bags. So these are all like light ones, and I have the pinks and the yellows and so on. You get the point. But I always just go and grab 2 different ones. I'm trying to keep, for the right side, I'm trying to keep the main color being like a variegated, and then make sure that candle is not going to burn that. And then the back color, more of a solid color. I'm not really doing the dark and light like they suggest in the pattern, but I do have a little bit of method for the madness that I'm doing. But here's one more look up close, and then let me show you the back side. This is the back side, which is just as pretty. Yeah, I am really, really loving it. It looks so good. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to work on this and just keep it going and see how colorful it is. And using up all those little scraps is going to be amazing. So this is anything else that I wanted to say other than it's super fun. I think I've said that a few times. And Wool and Pine has really good tutorials, like a lot of detailed tutorials on how to do every part of the pattern. The only thing that I found really confusing was the butcher's knot. I ended up giving up on that, and I'm just tying them together. I'm just like tying them together each group, and then I think I might go back and tie like 2 groups together like out here to kind of make a little V. I don't know, we'll see. I saw someone else do something similar, so I might go back and look at her project page and see exactly what she did. But I'm loving this. It's keeping me entertained, and ready for all of the lights, so I'm not too impatient for that. But yeah, it's a really pretty pattern and I really like it. I have a few acquisitions to share with you today, just a couple. These were all ordered probably at the beginning of April, so it took them a really long time to come in, but they were well worth the wait. The first thing I ordered was from Simply Serving. It's my little Ewok. Oh my gosh, is he not so cute? When I saw this, I had to have it, and I love it. So it's going to actually go on my bluegrass. I was just waiting to show you guys before I put it on, but I'm really excited for him. And then I got a little surprise from a friend who was so sweet and also sent me something from Simply Serving. Speaking of Simply Serving, here is her card. She's linked down below. She is one of my favorite stitch marker designers and makers. She's just so brilliant. She does amazing like sketches and all kinds of things. My daughter even has a sketch from her from over the garden wall. So yeah, she's pretty awesome if you want to check her out if you haven't already. If you're in the knitting world and haven't heard of her yet. And then my sweet little friend sent me these. Oh my gosh. It's a little corgi head and corgi butt. Is it not adorable? Oh, they're so cute. I'd seen these and thought about ordering them, but my sweet friend ordered it for me. Oh, so thank you so much. I love them. They are just so cute. I have a jealous daughter. I told her after I use them for a while, I might make them. Actually, can you use some of those earring backs? Maybe. I told her I'd make them into earrings for her. So I'm going to use them for a bit, and then I will let her have them. They're super cute. And the other thing that I purchased was a big splurge, and it is all my friend Natalie's fault. 100% her fault. So she got one of these bags from I think it's 5 to 6. Yes, it's 5 to 6 is the shop name, and it is on Etsy, also linked down below. And I just had to have it. I was influenced 100%. So this is the double pointed needle and circular needle organizer bundle. I couldn't decide if I wanted both, either one or both, so I went with both. And this is the pattern that I picked out. I love it. I got a darker fabric, so maybe it won't get so dirty and hairy, and you know, my house is a mess. So it has this great pocket out on the front, which I am holding Berber cords and my inner lantern moon stoppers, like these little stoppers that go on the end of your needles. I have those in the front, and then inside, I'll talk about this in a second. Inside, you have all these little pockets where you can fit your needles. So mine are a little small for the pockets, like they go all the way down and you can't really see them, but you can easily just poke them in like that. They're already numbered. So yeah, that's great. I mean, that in itself could be a project bag with all of your interchangeable needles, or I think this one's actually for the DPNs, which I actually have a set of, which was crazy. So I just put those in with the number 1, and there we have that. Love that. This would be amazing all on its own. But then I also got this, which has this is the circular needle organizer. So this thing is huge. This is what it looks like all bundled. It's so organized. I love it. So I went through all of my needles. So I have a whole bunch of JaneC needles that I'm not quite ready to get rid of yet. So I went through all of them and kept one of all of the sizes. I had multiple of some, and I actually sent those off to my sister, the extras that I had, because she said that she could use them. And then I just organized them all. So these first 2 pouches have my cords for the Lantern Moon set. So I have those 2, and then I have a free one that's empty, And then we're just going to go, and I have all my size 1s, my size 2s, 3s, and then I did 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, so on and so forth, and got those all organized in there. So I don't know if I will eventually get rid of all the Chogu ones, or if I want to keep a hold of them since I have my interchangeable set now. But I just wasn't ready to get rid of them yet. So they fit really great in this, so that works. And then what's awesome is this fits perfectly down in there, and then I can just zip it up, and everything is in one place, which I really like. And I can even use this just as a project bag, which is great too. So that was my splurge that I got, and I really love it, and I'm really grateful for it. And it shipped from just above Seattle, so it was like a neighbor who made it, so that's pretty cool. So I have a couple questions. I put a box up on Instagram asking if anyone had any questions for me, and I got a few that I want to answer here. So Yarn Oops asked, what is my most challenging knit thus far, and also my most enjoyable knit thus far? And that is a good question. I think it's one project. I think it is the All of the Lights cardigan. I have enjoyed making that so much. It has just been so much fun to knit, and I have just had a blast. I really have. And it was challenging to keep up with all the charts, to know what I was doing next, to get the hang of it, especially in the beginning. But I will say it wasn't as challenging as I thought it was going to be. Kohi wrote an amazing pattern, and she gave so much detail in it that it was absolutely perfect. It's just a perfect description of how to do it. There are diagrams on where you go next, what you do. And yeah, I think it would be All of the Lights for the most enjoyable and the most difficult. I think so. Now, there have been patterns where I've messed up a million times and wanted to throw it out the window. Yeah, but that's not enjoyable, so we won't go down that one. So thank you for the question. And then my friend Allison, Adorabelle85, asked, what is your most worn hand knit? Hands down, my first Radvent. I've worn that so much, all the time. I love it. That's why I made this one. This one's probably going to replace it for a little bit. But yeah, definitely the Radvent, because I could just throw it on really fast. It was a fun knit. I loved the colors that I did. And yeah, it's just a really fun, it's a fun pattern to make too, because it's got such a different construct of it, and you're changing colors so often that it keeps you entertained and keeps you interested. So I think the Radvent is probably my most worn. Definitely. And then Erin Kitty, I think is how you say that, I hope so, asked, her last question was the Chick-fil-A order. So she said she has to ask another great one. And her is my all-time favorite knitting notion. All-time favorite knitting notion. That's a good question. I really love the Stitch or Progress Keepers count. Progress Keepers probably have to be. I love them. They're so much fun. You could change them up. I have mine right here. I didn't do that on purpose, actually. But, you know, you have so many in here. And I love these. I've gone a little crazy over them sometimes. Like, I love my little Grogu. He's so cute with his little blue biscuit. Yeah, and then also, I love these stitch stoppers I've gotten into recently. Oh, my Band-Aid's coming off. These little stitch stoppers. These, oh, that doesn't look right. There we go. So these are actually going to go on my bluegrass. But yeah, I think those would be it. My all-time favorite one might be the Grogu. I don't know. I have like a little little adipose guy from Doctor Who. Oh, come on. He's so cute, and yeah, so many different ones. So I think um, those would be it. I think so. So if you have a question you'd like me to answer next month in the second podcast of the month, leave it down below or keep a watch out on Instagram for the time around like the 18th or 19th of June. Oh my gosh, June's next. And on Instagram, and I'll have a little box with any questions you can put in there. So let's head on over and see what life has been bringing. So life has been, it seems really hectic in the last 2 weeks, but then it hasn't been as hectic either. I don't know. Brian worked a lot the last couple weeks, and when he was not working, he was like off 2 days and then working a day and then off a day and then working 2 more days or something crazy like that. It wasn't a very good schedule. So when he does that, we don't do too much because he's sleeping most of the time and we're just hanging out. The kids got the new Zelda game, so that's been really entertaining for them. They've had it, a week tomorrow. So they've all been playing that, and we all felt kind of crummy last week. There were just some days where I couldn't get enough sleep. I don't know if we had a cold or if we had something else. We had like upset stomachs. It wasn't like awful. It was just you felt blah and like you didn't have any energy to do anything. So yeah, that kept us down a couple days and kind of just didn't make us want to do anything at all. But you may notice that the background looks different than it did last time, and that is because we moved spots this past Monday. So to stay in the campground, they're really busy, and you can reserve online a specific spot and then they can't change it in the office. So if anyone has reserved spots like one night and then you're in that spot, but then it just makes it crazy. So if you have like need a 3 month stay and there's someone in the middle who needs that spot that they've reserved, you can't change it or do anything about it. So they've having to move us around a little bit to keep us in the same campground, but to just move. So we have one more move next month, like June. I think we moved June 17th or something. And then for the last 2 months we're here, we should be in that spot. So this move went really, really smooth. It was very hot, and it was a day where I really didn't feel very good. So we moved everything. We got up, we moved everything, and then got everything put together, like the fence put up and everything like that. And then I took about a 4-hour nap, and I literally could have slept probably all night long. I was just done. I was so done. But I'm feeling better now, and that's what is so great. And you may notice this is also a little bit different. So we kind of did a little bit of a living space makeover. Mama needed a change. Do you ever just feel like you're in a rut and you need something different? That's how I've been feeling for the last few months. So I was like, Ryan, this is what I want to do. And begrudgingly, he went along with me. Now, he was really great with it and helped. He was like, yeah, you do it, whatever. So we're still kind of in the middle of it. We're waiting on a couple more things to come in to finish organizing. But we got a brand new couch, which you will see in the overlay here. We just got it yesterday, so it's brand new and we're really excited about it. We are enjoying it. As you can tell, the dogs are also really enjoying it. And then we took our old 2 couches out that were falling apart and the seams were ripping and everything. We got rid of our old table and chairs and all that. Brian took a huge truckload of stuff to the dump yesterday. And then we got this new section back here. We have a new table. And then we also have a new cubby that is on the right side. And then the left side, we are waiting for an ottoman that is going to hold some Legos, like thousands and thousands of Legos. And then I have to figure out a couple other things to do. But yeah, we're really enjoying it. so far it's brand new, it's different, and yeah, we also, even though we didn't get out and explore a whole bunch this time, we did go on a few walks around the campground and surrounding areas, which was nice. It's fun to go through and look at all the campers and kind of see how everybody's living. So that was nice to do, and it was nice to get a little bit of exercise. I'd like to start doing some more of that. So yeah, we got a lot more hikes we want to do coming up. So hopefully there will be more activity in our future. Let me see what else. We had a Japanese food last night, which was really, every time, she does it every time. We had Japanese food last night that was really good, really expensive, like really expensive, but really good. So that was nice. We hadn't had good Japanese food since January in Salt Lake. So we love Japanese. It's so good. I ate so much food, so much. It was bad. It was really, really bad. And I don't know why this made me think of this, but I meant to say what I was wearing in the intro section, and I didn't. So this is my shirt that my sister got me for my birthday, or for Christmas. I think it was my birthday. And I absolutely love it, so I decided to wear it today. I will have it linked down below for this exact one. I love it. It's super, super comfy. And I'm also wearing, I don't know if you can see, hold on. See how this works. There we go. Yes, I am wearing my twisted t-shirts that I made with my friend Stephanie last year. I love these. Might make me another pair, a couple sizes lower or smaller, because these size down when you make them, is all I'm going to say. I'll have the pattern, my project page linked down below. I think that is everything, minus talking about what we watched. So we actually watched quite a bit. Last time I was talking about how we had started The Chosen, which is a beautiful rendition and story of Christ's life and how he found his disciples and went on his ministry. And we finished season 1, 2, and 3 and loved it so, so much. I will have the website linked down below. You can watch all the episodes there for free. They have a whole bunch of like roundtable discussions where they have a rabbi, a Catholic priest, and an evangelist, or evangelical, that's a hard word, evangelical professor, that all kind of discuss if they think anything in the episode was weird or different or not what they thought, or what things they agree on and stuff. It was really, really interesting to watch. They're currently filming season 4, which is amazing. I'm really excited to see that. I think there's 6 seasons in all is what they plan to do. So I highly recommend that show. It's not cheesy. It's not like weird. It's like really good. I really have loved it. So we finished that, and then we were really bummed because we loved it so much. We watched the Christmas special that they had. Yeah, and it was just so good. I love it. I think I'm gonna make the kids watch it next, because I'm gonna watch it again because it's so good. And then after Brian and I finished watching that, we started Shadow and Bones season 2. We just finished it up last night. We watched all 8 episodes over like 3 nights, and I remember watching the first season and really, really loving it. But this season I kind of didn't feel the same about it. Like, it was still good, but I don't know. I kind of felt like there were side stories and quests that didn't match up or never really, I don't know. I know they're books, so I'm sure it has a longer arc in it, but it was just kind of felt like some things didn't need to be in it. But yeah, it was good. It's just I don't think I liked it as much as the first season. And then things that I have been watching alone is I've been watching a show on Apple TV called The Last Thing He Said to Me, or The Last Thing He Told Me. The Last Thing He Told Me. It has Jennifer Garner in it, and I love her so much. I've loved her since she was Sydney Bristow in Alias. And like when I was, I don't know, 14 or 15 when that show came out. I just love her so much. She's so awesome. She's so beautiful, and So yeah, I'm watching that. It's a mystery. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind right now. So I hope to catch up on that this weekend maybe. But that's a pretty good one. Disclaimer: there is language, a lot of language in it, but it's kind of like a thriller mystery type. But it's been really good. And the other thing that I am halfway through watching right now is Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. I have seen 3 episodes and I have 3 episodes to watch, so I'm really excited to finish that. I don't think it's quite as good as Bridgerton, but I am enjoying it and kind of seeing how Queen Charlotte started out. Disclaimer: it is adult content. Just keep that in mind. And then another thing that happened right after the last episode dropped was the coronation of King Charles in England. And I, of course, stayed up and watched it. It's the first coronation in 70 years. So, yeah, I stayed up. It started, we're Pacific time here, so it started at 3 a.m., like the ceremony started around then. And it was a long, long ceremony, like really long. I expected it to be like maybe an hour and then they would do the procession, but it was 2 hours of that bishop talking for a very long time. But I'm glad that I watched it and saw it. It's definitely like, I want to say once in a lifetime, but William will become king in my lifetime, more than likely too. But yeah, I love the royal family in England, so it was just kind of like, it was awesome to be able to watch that and experience it live. I think it's something different when you can actually watch it happening live and not record it later. So I stayed up till 5, and then they started to do their procession to Buckingham Palace, and I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. So I went to bed at 5. But it was worth it, and it was fun. So that is all I have to share with you guys. Oh, I was gonna do. We'll talk about what I plan to make next time because it's already the end now. So if you've made it this long through all my rambling and kind of all over the place, I feel like today, then thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me. I hope that you are having a great May and that it is a beautiful season wherever you are. I am looking forward to the next couple weeks. I'm hoping to do a couple of fun, exciting things when Brian has a few days off. And I also have a fun knit night date coming up this weekend with some friends. So maybe I'll get some footage of that and get to show you guys. So yeah, it'll hopefully be a good couple of weeks. So until the next time, I will see you then, and happy making. And one glorious lady messaged me back and was like, River, shush, no, River, go lay down. One lady messaged me back. Let's try that again. Tables, thingamajiggers, and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's been fun to do. What? Stop staring at me, weirdo. Even though we didn't get out.